us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yeah, we chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that on a mission to snatch my people straight up out that fire. On a mission to snatch the lamb out the mouth of a lion. If you notice he ain't in the fold, leave the 99. Just say that brother or sister somehow we left behind. Should I leave the 99 sheep to go back for the one? I mean that's still 99 and that's more than some. Yeshua came for the lost sheep, let's get him young. He might be seeking a change like the prodigal son. Wise as a serpent, homeless as doves, that's how we played. Blocking these fiery arrows, strapped with my shield of faith. Many are called, few are chosen with the scriptures say. Jeremiah 31:21, the ship's on the way, crossing the Jordan, still waters, we want no trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates, broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah, Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Elohim, praise Yah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father.
Started from the bottom, now we heal. You already know what it is. Giving praise to the God of Israel. The truth has been revealed, even though a lot of men said live the whole world. They've been deceived for real. Read Revelation chapter 12. Time will tell who will prevail 400 year captivity. But we coming out of here. Prophecy been fulfilled. Gotta live righteously. Yeah, we'll see who is real and who will be out. Cause of fear, cause of doubt. Who will hear and believe our report. Time to resort back to the sword. Yeah, the mighty one through the sun. Fight a run, we gon' fight. If it is real, Ephesians 6:12. Yeah, we battle where the evil dwell. Hell is just a grace, so yeah, you know we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who shall we feel? Come on, cause salvation is near. Even though it's a war going on, gotta keep marching on. This is for my pills. He that hath the ear, hear. It's time to go home, for real.
Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. On a mission to snatch my people straight up out that fire. On a mission to snatch the lamb out the mouth of a lion. If you notice he ain't in the fold, leave the 99. Just say that brother or sister somehow we left behind. Should I leave the 99 sheep to go back for the one? I mean that's still 99 and that's more than some. Yeshua came for the lost sheep, let's get him young. He might be seeking a change like the prodigal son. Wise as a serpent, homeless as doves, that's how we played. Blocking these fiery arrows, strapped with my shield of faith. Many are called, few are chosen with the scriptures say. Jeremiah 31:21, the ship's on the way, crossing the Jordan, still waters, we want no trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates, broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah, Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Elohim, praise Yah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but yeah, we still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only
started from the bottom, now we here. You already know what it is. Giving praise to the God of Israel. The truth has been revealed, even though a lot of masses live the whole world. They been deceived for real. Read Revelation chapter 12. Time will tell who will prevail 400 year captivity. But we coming out of here. Prophecy been fulfilled. Gotta live righteously. Yeah, we'll see who is real and who will be out. Cause of fear, cause of doubt. Who will hear and believe our report. Time to resort back to the source. Yeah, the mighty one through the sun. Fight a run, we gon' fight. If it is will Ephesians 6 and 12. Yeah, we battle where the evil dwell. Hell is just a grace. So yeah, you know we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who shall we feel? Come on. Cause salvation is near, even though it's a war going on. Gotta keep marching on. This is for my pills. Either have the ill heal. It's time to go home. For real.
Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yahshua, the only way to reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yahshua, the only way to reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yahshua, the only way to reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yahshua.
Shalom Facebook, Shalom YouTube. Welcome to our history class. Tonight we are in book 1 Samuel, chapter 21. But before we get started, does anyone have any questions?
Yes, it's First Chronicles.
Hold on.
It's not plugged up.
Hold on. Go ahead.
First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 11.
Where?
First Chronicles.
First Chronicle.
Chapter 16, verse 11.
Chapter 15, verse 11.
16.
16.
Yes. Those that's what we was talking in the prophecy class.
This is that sounds like one of the Psalms. Now, what's the question? Verse
Right.
11.
Right, verse 11. Right. It seems like, we were talking in the prophecy class how, we get so many thoughts in our minds and it keeps from getting so close to Yahweh. What it seemed like, what would be the point of purpose? It's like almost like a waste of time seeking his face continually. If he gonna let these thoughts give us thoughts to keep us from getting to him, like what it's like it doesn't make no sense. Like what's the point? What's the purpose? You know what I mean? I look at persons like this, like that's just this person like that. So I'm like, what's the point in continually do it if you're not gonna let us do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, what would be the option of doing it? I mean, what would it be better for you not to think on Yahweh, so you don't be tempted? Think on Yahweh up to a certain point, and then you're tempted.
I guess they go to a certain point. At least you think about them, but if they ain't gonna get there, like
It's
it's like
frustrating.
right.
Yeah, I know. We've all been there, but the flesh, and He's commanded the flesh to seek Yahweh. All right, so when you get to that level of reaching out to Yahweh, He can only let you get so close, and then He'll back you off. Then you start over again. That's just the way it is. Again, there's nothing we can do about this flesh. It's a miracle that we even thinking about it. So when we think about it, we're in the spirit. But Yahweh reminds us, yeah, you're spirit now, but you're still flesh. So just a gentle reminder.
Right.
It can be frustrating. Because what would you do if you thought on them all the time?
I would do half the stuff I do now. But you know, like it'd be like I don't know, life would be better, I guess. I mean, you be in that point where your prayers and everything going smooth and good, you have no issues. Like life would just be like life would be, like the Messiah said, the yoke is light. Life would be light and easy, That's how I look at it.
Wouldn't it be sort of like an emotional attachment if you think on them all the time?
Definitely.
Because you don't want to stop thinking about
Mm-hmm.
it, right? So the more you think about it, the closer you feel towards it.
Right.
So, uh,
Are we supposed to love them?
yeah,
You don't have to fear, but also love them too, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So we
yeah.
supposed to have a kind of like an emotional attachment. 'Cause I know I got the love for them, but you know, if I could grow that love to where it wouldn't keep pushing me back, I wouldn't worry about a lot of stuff, like people included, probably. I just be kind of like John the Baptist, go out in the wilderness somewhere,
I,
cut
I,
myself off from the world. I guess I don't know.
I can't advise anybody, but I know myself, I would rather think on Yahweh
Right.
all the time. And up to that point where we take that concentration away from me, it's frustrating. But I know eventually I'm coming back to Yahweh. So I look forward to that. And I just have to accept that I'm flesh. And it messes up my whole day. Yeah, but I know later on I'm gonna be right back on track thinking about it. Yeah. So
So,
that's something I live with. So that might be something I might consider living with.
so you think in the kingdom maybe that won't be an issue no more? Him
In
stopping
the
us
kingdom,
from stopping us from getting close to him. I know probably in the kingdom of Elohim, but just in the kingdom of heaven, you think that still here that stop us from getting as close as we.
but add to the fact that Satan gonna be in that bottomless pit
Right.
uh, for 1,000 years. We don't know how your mind's gonna work because this will be brand new. You be looking at a man that can never die. Then you be looking at people that can never die. You be looking at angels, right? So you're not gonna get over that in 1,000 years. I mean, that's something you got to get used to. So without that flesh will finally be tamed. That's why I asked, um, how would the women behave without Satan on the scene? Would they change? I mean, they are unstable now. Y'all forgive me for that.
I was just gonna
Well,
say, can I speak for Elder Stephen? They won't say nothing.
don't say that these brothers married. They gotta go home. That brother married,
Forgive me.
Zach
I
married.
forgot.
Elder, he don't have to go. He's in Alabama, right? So
Yeah.
he good. Rest of brother gotta go home tonight.
I forget. Y'all forgive me because y'all married brothers and y'all can't think like me.
Can't say what you say,
You
huh?
know what? They have to think in the flesh sometimes. You ain't got no choice. Cause she gotta please you, you gotta please her.
But Elder, you know what? They'll be all right. I think actually the one that survived that wilderness experience, they're gonna have a change of mind before they get on land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they would all that what they're doing now.
Yeah. But you married brothers, y'all on another level.
Yeah,
Right? You can't really stop thinking about the flesh.
no.
Well,
That's part of your job.
in the kingdom, if we keep our mind, let's say, stayed on Yahweh and just really, okay. I know we still got other stuff we have to do as in the kingdom, but since Satan not there, the flesh, even though we flesh, it shouldn't be in the way now.
Well, what's the point of getting married and having a family then? Because you can't have a family without lust for your wife.
Yeah, I'm saying that the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta look at it. I guess in the kingdom, more of I guess like a partnership. Me and my wife would be in partnership with Yahweh in creation, so it's not so lustful. It's more like a partnership with Yahweh because he's the creator, but he using us to create. You know what I mean? It's like a partnership
You and your ish are partnered with Yahweh.
in the creation of our child. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
Well, up to a point.
Yeah.
You know, but you still gotta have babies.
Right.
Yeah, so you can't hang around Yahweh having babies. Yeah, 'cause y'all know what's on your mind. See, he tell you, why don't you go back home and have some babies, man? I catch you after tomorrow. So, I mean, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna have families, and that's a main ingredient to getting a family.
Mhm.
Because you can't just walk up and say, "Let's go." No, that thing you got to work on that thing. She can work on that thing. I'm trying to keep it kosher.
Yeah, but it didn't come out right.
You know, I'm taking on thin ice,
Got to work.
man.
And but back what you were saying, so from a fleshly marriage to a spiritual marriage, when you're dealing with the spiritual marriage, then our mind being on Yahweh all the time, that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah. Well, that might be one of the reasons why Mashiach said it'd be better for you to be a eunuch
Mm-hmm.
in the kingdom of heaven. So that means your mind won't be on that flesh at all. So you won't be, since Satan gonna be in that bottomless pit, your mind won't be disturbed. Now you can think on Yahweh.
You can't tell Yahweh when you're married, it's going to be distractions, right?
Yeah,
You can't fully be devoted to him, but nonetheless, it's your life.
right.
I mean, it's good that a man be married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man gotta please his wife,
yeah.
wife gotta please her husband.
It's not a normal thing. I look at me, I say, that's not normal. You 72 years old, ain't never been married. That's not normal. But nevertheless,
Yeah, well, so you feel like you have peace.
oh yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, how about this? Like, okay, after 500 years, that lustful thing. I mean, I see. You know, at 500 years, you probably had your bunch of kids. You know, the next 500 years, you probably don't even be thinking about that no more. Because after 500 years, you probably just be like, okay, that's enough. You know what I mean?
Having no kids and all.
500 years, that's enough.
Yeah,
You know, but sometimes they get tired now. So 500 years.
I'm sorry. It's not working. You gotta stay on the job. So
Tree out there.
maybe take a vacation or something. Take 100 years off, man, come back.
Take 100 years off.
And come back and be fresh, brand new. So, no, you got to do your job, bro. You married. Are you married, brother? Y'all got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the women expect you to do your job. Look at Obi.
Who?
Obi.
Mm-hmm.
Obi got to do his job.
He throwing it out on the floor, putting it all out.
Well, now, we said it himself.
Yeah, he did.
So, I admire you, married brother, man. Y'all got a lot on your plate. So, I just come home, open up a can of sardines, and I eat, and I'll be good.
He won't stop.
Because, see, your wives fix y'all whole dinners. You know what? And they'll bring your plate to you at the table. I find that amazing. 'Cause I've never had that before.
He said, should I do that every Saturday?
See what I'm
Bring
saying?
for a husband and a father.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. Y'all take that for granted, man.
I don't have it. Come on, Joe.
Yeah. Uh, that's fascinating, man. Somebody actually put a plate in front of you.
That's old fashioned now, bro.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm still fascinated by it. I said, damn, what's that like?
It's good for some brothers. My Isha always tell me, I bring it, if I cook it, bring it over there to you, then you gonna have some poison. You have to me that all the time.
See,
Say she could get you know something wrong, she bring it to you.
that's all right. You still love her.
Yes, sir.
That's the main thing.
Cause she letting me know when the poison gonna be in it, so I can be on the lookout.
But then I couldn't really
Yeah,
explain it to you
right.
specifically, my brother.
That
Yeah.
that gives me understanding.
Um,
Yeah.
But maybe we'll find out even more when the kingdom is set up. Because right now, that's all we got to deal with. So I guess it just to remind you that he's still flesh. Yahweh not. What does flesh mean to Yahweh?
The grass.
Nothing but grass. Yeah. He loves you. He wants you to love him. But yeah, you're that little redhead stepchild. You, I welcome your love, but you're just over there. Just love me from over here. Don't come too close to. Uh, I want to change your name to Nadab in the Bible. But yeah, that's all you can do about that, man. I know it says seek Yahweh and His strength, seek His face continually. Well, Mashiach said basically the same thing: pray to Yahweh without ceasing.
Mm.
Yeah, so that would be a form of seeking His face. You pray to Him, yeah. Because when I pray, I close my eyes, so in reverence to Him. And so in your prayers, I believe that might have been what he was talking about, seeking Yahweh. How else you going to seek it? You're going to seek it through prayer. Okay. All right, then. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, we are in 1 Samuel chapter 21. Now, keep in mind, David had found out that King Saul wanted to kill him. Now, keep in mind also, it's not just the jealousy of King David, it's that evil spirit that's in him also.
Mm.
So it makes him almost insane with his hatred for David. But it's that evil spirit that's in him. Now, David got Yahweh's spirit, and King Saul got that evil spirit. So that might be one of the reasons he's unbalanced. He wanted to kill David all the time. When they tried to kill him the first time, it didn't happen. He scared him. What's going on? I can't kill this man. So yeah, he got that evil spirit on him, man.
So, do you think that evil spirit kind of revealed to him when Samuel told Saul Yahweh to rent the kingdom from you, and he chose your neighbor or somebody that's better than you?
Right.
So you think the evil spirit kind of revealed to him, like, okay, this David, his name is better than mine and all this, so this is the one. I need to kill him.
Yeah, he saw how great David was, especially when he killed Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that's extraordinary.
Mm.
He's a young man, ain't 20 years old, and killed a man 9 feet 9. So that shook up the whole country, bro. Because Goliath was scaring everybody. Couldn't nobody take him on. And then a young man running out there straight at him and kill him. Then cut his head off.
Mm.
So I know that must have been a sight, but you'd have to look at the spirit that David had. Because he wasn't scared of Goliath. He charged at him because he knew Yahweh was with him. That's one of the things you got to keep in mind. David knew Yahweh was with him. He wasn't going to fail him.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
I was wondering, like when he cut his head off, that's a lot of blood.
Well, yeah.
And he was carrying his head when
Well, yeah, that is a lot of blood.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just noticed it,
Well, when you're at war, you have to look for blood too, man. They don't war without shedding the blood.
what I mean of him, of Goliath, just him, like 9 foot 9 inches. And it didn't say much about him, about the blood, because I was thinking about it last week when we were reading about it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things left out. You just have to accept the fact that, yeah, there must have been a lot of blood out there. When you're looking at, for instance, when Israel fought them Canaanites all through Numbers and all those places, there was a lot of blood shed, but they didn't mention it.
Yeah. Like you said, yeah.
Yeah, you just because we're looking at war,
Yeah.
right? If you're looking at war, then blood gonna be shed. You have to accept that. You take that for granted. they don't mention much about blood that except when it's specific about it, yeah. But when you have war, you just have to accept that blood has been shed. You look at, for instance, in Revelation, there are going to be so many dead people and horses and all those type things, and blood's going to reach up to the horse's bridle. So you can see that the land won't be able to absorb all that blood. All right. So that it mentions blood there, but you never been in that presence of someone bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be a shock to the system because you don't see this every day.
Mhm.
Now maybe military people have war, they see it all the time. They get used to it. But civilians like us, we're not used to seeing blood all like that. But back in David's day, they were fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they ain't mind even their blood being shed. They weren't scared of death.
Yeah.
Right. So you're a warrior. You're a great man. People look up to you. People like me, they know I'm too old, so they don't pay no attention to me.
Mm.
Right. But young folk, that's what get the glory. Them young folk. So they faster, stronger, and don't mind that. Ain't scared of death. Ain't scared of death. So
I disagree with you, Elder.
huh?
I gotta disagree with you, Elder.
You disagree with me?
Yeah, that wisdom gets the glory.
Huh?
That wisdom you possess gets the glory. With
Y'all get
Yahweh,
the
you got
glory?
that
Oh, yeah, well,
wisdom.
yeah.
You got
But
that wisdom.
but y'all don't bleed though.
You can't learn that from a young man running across, but I can learn something from you. I can't learn that from them running. You can run as fast as you want. I can't learn that from that. I can learn something from you. You know what I mean?
So, all right.
You feel me?
Well, let's go ahead and get started. Again, we're in 1 Samuel chapter 21.
Verse 1. Then came David to Nob to Ahimelech the priest, and Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king hath commanded me a business, and hath said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereby I send thee, and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, all what there is present. And the priest answered David and said, There is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hallowed bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. At verse 5. And David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common, yea, though it was sanctified this day in the vessel. So the priest gave him hallowed bread, but there was no bread there but the showbread that was taken from before Yahweh to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before Yahweh, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And David said unto Ahimelech, And is there not here under thine hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. And the priest said, The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take it, but there is no other save that here. And David said, There is none like that. Give it me. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, Is not this David, the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul have slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart, and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them, and feigned himself mad in their hands, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his servants, Lo, you see the man is mad. Why then have you brought him to me? Have I need of madmen that you have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house?
Now, yeah, David is on the run, and he's running to these Philistines. Uh, and now you got to think fast
Mm-hmm.
because they've heard of him, but apparently they didn't have a very good description of it because all he did was change his behavior, but he didn't change his look. So he just changed behavior. Said, "Well, that man crazy. How can that be dead?" Right. So they let him go. It worked, but he was he knew that they knew that's who it was. They killed him. But I'm looking at Dov, the Edomite. What is he doing in the land? Now, no doubt that, like everybody else, they probably hired themselves out and probably hired Saul. He's working with Saul, and about time. So he was there, and this even shows back in these days that the Edomites didn't care nothing about the children of Israel. So, um, let's see here. The servants of Achish, they recognized David. Apparently, the king didn't. But yeah, that's David, king. You might need to get him out of here. But go ahead, Brother Sam. Let's look at the rest of the story.
1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 1. David therefore departed thence and escaped to the cave of Adullam. And when his brethren and all his father's house heard it, they went down thither to him. And every one that was in distress, and every one that was in debt, and every one that was discontented, gathered themselves unto him. And he became captain over them, and there were with him about 400 men.
Now, this is the first time we're hearing that the people are discontent with King Saul. He must have been doing some things that the people didn't like. So they left town too. They all got together and came around David because David knew he was a king Saul. The people knew that David first they knew he was going to be king. Eventually, Saul would accept it too, but they gathered around him because he could draw people to him. If anybody like him, they just liked him. He was that type of man that the people wanted to be around him. Plus, he got a reputation of killing off a bunch of Philistines, killing off Goliath. So he's somebody strong. I'm pretty sure this is a few years later after he killed Goliath. But nevertheless, they felt comfortable and safe with it because they saw that he didn't have a scratch on him. They've been fighting Philistines all the time, and he had a scratch on him. Yeah, you want to hang around somebody like that. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 3. And David went thence from Mizpeh of Moab, and he said unto the king of Moab, Let my father and my mother, I pray thee, come forth and be with you till I know what Elohim will do for me. And he brought them before the king of Moab, and they dwelt with him all the while that David was in the hold.
Mm-hmm.
And the prophet Gad said unto David, Abide not in the hold, depart and get thee into the land of Yehudah. Then David departed and came into the forest of Hareth. When Saul heard that David was discovered, and the men that were with him, now Saul abode in Gibeon under a tree in Ramah, having his spear in his hand, and all his servants were standing about him. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, Hear now, you Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds? that all of you have conspired against me, and there is none that showeth me that my son have made a league with the son of Jesse, and there is none of you that is sorry for me, or showeth unto me that my son have stirred up my servants against me to lie in wait as at this day.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like he paranoid.
Yeah, Saul was a clown.
Yeah, and he spoiled. He had like a spoiled child
Mhm.
that he blamed everybody for his problem except himself. My son turned against me. Turned my servant David against me. Don't let nobody like me. What I do. See what I'm saying? Now that's the kind of mindset. That's a childish mindset, but nevertheless, you can see the paranoia in the way the verse is written, because he suspects everybody's his enemy. Go ahead, Stephen.
You know, you reading this, you compare him and David. It's like day and night, like Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Joe Biden just is weak and simple, and Trump, he's a bulldog.
Right, right. Two different personalities.
Yeah.
Yes, that what we have here and is one that is a weak leader and one that's a strong leader. Right. In this case here, in King Saul's case, Saul is slowly losing his mind, and David is on the run, so his mind's sharp. You know, to stay away from King Saul. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Then 1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub. And he inquired of Yahweh for him, and gave him victuals, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Then the king sent to call Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and there came all of them to the king.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul said, Hear now, thou son of Ahitub. And he answered, Here I am, my master. And Saul said unto him, Why have you conspired against me, thou and the son of Jesse, in that thou hast given him bread and a sword, and have inquired of Elohim for him, that he should rise against me to lie in wait as at this day?
Mm-hmm.
Then Ahimelech answered the king and said, And who is so faithful among all thy servants as David, which is the king's son-in-law, and goeth at thy bidding, and is honorable in thine house? Did I then begin to inquire of Elohim for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant, nor to all the house of my father. For thy servant knew nothing of all this, less or more.
Mm-hmm.
And the king said, Thou shalt surely die, Ahimelech, thou and all thy father's house.
Mm.
And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, Turn and slay the priests of Yahweh, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not show it to me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And the king said to Doeg, Turn thou and fall upon the priests. And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priests, and slew on that day 75 persons that did wear an linen ephod.
Mm-hmm.
And Nob, the city of the priests, smote he with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and sucklings, and oxen and asses and sheep, with the edge of the sword.
Mm.
And one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. And Abiathar showed David that Saul had slain Yahweh's priests.
Mm-hmm.
And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house.
Mm-hmm.
Abide thou with me, fear not, for he that seeketh my life seeketh thy life. But with me thou shalt be in safeguard.
Mm.
Then they told David, saying, Behold, the Philistines fight against Keilah, and they rob the threshing floors. Therefore David inquired of Yahweh, saying, Shall I go and smite these Philistines? And Yahweh said unto David, Go and smite the Philistines, and save Keilah.
Mm-hmm.
And David's men said unto him, Behold, we be afraid here in Yehuda. How much more then if we come to Keilah against the armies of the Philistines?
Mm-hmm.
Then David inquired of Yahweh yet again. And Yahweh answered him and said, Arise, go down to Keilah, for I will deliver the Philistines into thine hands.
Mm-hmm.
So David and his men went to Keilah and fought with the Philistines and brought away their cattle and smote them with a great slaughter. So David saved the inhabitants of Keilah. And it came to pass, when Abiathar, the son of Ahimelech, fled to David to Keilah, that he came down with an ephod in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it was told Saul that David was come to Keilah, and Saul said, Elohim hath delivered him into mine hand, for he is shut in by entering into a town that has gates and bars.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul called all the people together to war to go down to Keilah to besiege David and his men. And David knew that Saul secretly practiced mischief against him, and he said to Abiathar the priest, Bring hither the ephod. Then said David, O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, thy servant hath certainly heard that Saul seeketh to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. Will the men of Keilah deliver me up into his hand? Will Saul come down as thy servant have heard? O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, I beseech thee, tell thy servant. And Yahweh said, he will come down. Then said David, will the men of Keilah deliver me and my men into the hand of Saul? And Yahweh said, they will deliver thee up.
Mm-hmm.
Then David and his men, which were about 600, arose and departed out of Keilah and went whithersoever they could go. And it was told Saul that David was escaped from Keilah, and he forbade to go forth.
Mm-hmm.
And David abode in the wilderness in strongholds and remained in a mountain in the wilderness of Ziph. And Saul sought him every day, but Elohim delivered him not into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life, and David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood. And Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David into the wood and strengthened his hand in Elohim. And he said unto him, Fear not, for the hand of Saul my father shall not find thee, and thou shalt be king over Israel, and I shall be next unto thee. And that also Saul my father knoweth.
Mm-hmm.
And they two made a covenant before Yahweh. And David abode in the wood, and Jonathan went to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Then came up the Ziphites to Saul to Gibeah, saying, Does not David hide himself with us in strongholds in the wood, in the hill of Hachilah, which is on the south of Yesimon? Now therefore, O king, come down according to all the desire of thy soul to come down, and our part shall be to deliver him into the king's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul said, Blessed be you of Yahweh, for you have compassion on me. Go, I pray you, prepare yet, and know and see his place where his haunt is, and who have seen him there. For it is told me that he dealeth very subtly. Seek therefore, and take knowledge of all the lurking places where he hideth himself, and come you again to me with the certainty, and I will go with you. And it shall come to pass, if he be in the land, that I will search him out throughout all the thousands of Yehuda.
Mm-hmm.
And they arose and went to Ziph before Saul. But David and his men were in the wilderness of Maon, in the plain on the south of Yeshimon.
Mm-hmm.
Saul also and his men went to seek him, and they told David, wherefore he came down into a rock and abode in the wilderness of Maon. And when Saul heard that, he pursued after David in the wilderness of Maon.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul went on this side of the mountain, and David and his men on that side of the mountain. And David made haste to get away for fear of Saul. But Saul and his men compassed David and his men round about to take them. But there came a messenger unto Saul, saying, Haste thee and come, for the Philistines have invaded the land.
Mm.
Wherefore Saul returned from pursuing after David and went against the Philistines. Therefore they called that place Selah Hamalekoth. And David went up from thence and dwelt in the strongholds at En-gedi. And it came to pass, when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And the men of David said unto him, Behold the day of which Yahweh said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou may do unto him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privily. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him because he had cut off Saul's skirt.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto his men, Yahweh forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, Yahweh's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
So David stayed his servants with these words and suffered them not to rise against Saul.
Mm-hmm.
But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, My master the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed himself. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt? Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how that Yahweh had delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. And some bade me kill thee, but mine eye spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth mine hand against my master, for he is Yahweh's anointed.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in my hand. For in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe and killed thee not, know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in mine hand, and I have not sinned against thee. Yet thou huntest my soul to take it. Yahweh judge between me and thee, and Yahweh avenge me of thee, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. As saith the proverb of the ancients, wickedness proceedeth from the wicked, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog, after a flea. Yahweh therefore be judge and judge between me and thee, and see and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. And it came to pass when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. And he said to David, Thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. And thou hast showed this day how that thou hast dealt well with me, for as much as when Yahweh had delivered me into thine hand, thou killest me not. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go well away? Wherefore Yahweh reward thee good for that thou hast done unto me this day. And now, behold, I know well that thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thine hand.
Mm-hmm.
Swear now, therefore, unto me by Yahweh, that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house.
Mm-hmm.
And David sware unto Saul, and Saul went home, but David and his men gat them up unto the hold.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel died, and all the Israelites were gathered together and lamented him and buried him in his house at Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. And there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was shearing his sheep in Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men, and David said unto the young men, Go you up to Carmel, and go to Nabal, and greet him in my name, and thus shall you say to him that liveth in prosperity, Peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel. Ask the young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore let the young men find favor in thine eyes, for we come in a good day. Give, I pray thee, whatsoever cometh into thine hand unto thy servants and to thy son David.
Mm-hmm.
And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings. And David said unto his men, Gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff.
It didn't take much to get him so angry you want to kill somebody. But this is showing disrespect. So yeah, of all the people out there, you don't want to disrespect him.
Nope.
So you heard about when they do the Philistines, he ain't scared of death. He runs straight to it. And Nabal didn't remember that. So he disrespected the men. So David got to answer him back. You disrespect my men, I'm coming at you. I'm tearing you down. Go ahead, Brother Seven.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 13 again. And David said unto his men, Gird ye on every man his sword, and they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword, and there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, Behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields. They were a wall unto us both by night and day, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do. For evil is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched grain and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, Go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal.
Now, apparently, for her servant to say that about his master, he must agree with him. Because she didn't back him down, said, How dare you talk about your master like that? She agreed with him. My husband's an asshole. Now he got about to get us killed because he's the son of Belial. She agreed with him. She probably tired of him too. Go ahead, Sarah.
First Samuel chapter 25, verse 20. And it was so as she rode on the ass that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David had said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he have requited me evil for good. So and more also do Elohim unto the enemies of David, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning light any that pisses against the wall.
Hmm.
And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground and fell at his feet and said, upon me, my master, upon me, let this iniquity be, and let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the words of thine handmaid. Let not my master, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my master whom thou did of sin.
Look how she talk about her husband. This is wife. So that hadn't changed. Go ahead, Stephen. I mean, he deserved it. I mean, the man wasn't no good anyway, but she just letting the obvious be known that, yeah, I see it too.
You
I
know,
see what y'all see.
we got Nabal mean fool, right? Stupid,
Mm.
whatever. I was talking to a brother one time. I was just reading my Bible. I was sitting out in a restaurant, and he came along and said something, and I said something, and he didn't agree with it. He called me Nabal. I was just sitting there eating my food, reading my book. You read a good book, yes. And I said something. He said something. I said, no, that's not quite right. He called me Nabal.
Damn, Steve.
Yeah, showing that in front of the wife.
In front of his wife?
Yeah, he had his wife and came up from his table and stood up, and the spirit just stopped me from just getting up, just taking that plate, busting him over the head. I just sat there and just ate my food.
How is these things always happen to you, Steve?
Well, like you say, Yahweh put them situations there to see how I react.
I'll never see stuff like that.
Yeah, you stay at home.
Yeah, right.
You stay at home.
Do y'all see stuff like this? See what I'm saying? I don't know, Steve, you're a lightning rod or something.
Brother called me Nabal. I'm sitting there minding my own business.
No, you must have did something. The man just jump up and come straight to his table. all the folks come straight to Steve's table.
There in the restaurant, and he come up there, he twisting and got his finger and telling me what he gonna do. And I just stayed there. I said, if I do something, Clayton County gonna come. It's gonna be a mess. So I was on my good behavior that day.
What was his wife name? Abigail.
Yeah,
No, he doing all this and he married.
yeah, showing out in front of the wife.
She's probably scared of him.
Then when I left, I did say something. I said, you know what, brother? I walked up. I said, you drunk with stupidity, and I just kept going.
Oh, you had to throw a rock at him, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, he was dropping dimes on me. I couldn't even eat my food.
Yeah, good dreamer.
But I learned when you read this book, and Jay come up and say, "Oh, you reading a good book?" They trying to provoke some. I don't say nothing to them. I just keep doing it. If I'm in the park, I was in the park one time, just read. Guy come up and say something. I didn't say nothing to him.
It don't matter, do it. They just come straight at you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I stay in the house, man.
just stay in the house.
I let you bring your stories up to the table. I mean, really, the other thing that he go through, do y'all go through what he go through?
Nope.
See,
It was different too.
they can make a movie.
Yeah, praise God.
But I'm saying this is the situation that pop up in your life.
Yeah, but it's yours all the time. Now, why this Shabbat? He'll have a different story. Some gonna have it tomorrow.
But then look at that angel with me.
Yeah,
He keep me from hurt.
yeah. They're working overtime.
You got some fools out there, bro.
Mm-hmm. We got 3 shifts on you.
And I got a short stem, bro.
Yeah.
Temper real short.
Yeah, yeah. We praise God. You got angels around you all the time.
Oh, yeah. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 26. Now therefore, my master, as Yahweh liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing Yahweh have withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies and they that seek evil to my master be as Nabal.
Damn.
And now this blessing which thine handmaid have brought unto my master, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my master.
Mm-hmm.
I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thine handmaid, for Yahweh will certainly make my master a sure house, because my master fighteth the battles of Yahweh, and evil have not been found in thee all thy days.
Mm-hmm.
Yet a man is risen to pursue thee and to seek thy soul. But the soul of my master shall be bound in the bundle of life with Yahweh thy Elohim, and the souls of thine enemies, them shall he sling out as out of the middle of a sling.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, when Yahweh shall have done to my master according to all the good that he has spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel, that this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my master, even either that thou hast shed blood causeless, or that my master have avenged himself. But when Yahweh shall have dealt well with my master, then remember thine handmaid.
Now Abigail knew he was gonna be king.
Yeah.
So Abigail knew. Everybody knew. Everybody. Yeah. They were just waiting for everything to unfold, waiting for Saul to die. Because remember that everybody discontented with Saul. They want David to be king. So they heard about Samuel anointing him king when he was a young man. They said, "Yeah, we know you're gonna be king. We're waiting on you." Yeah. Everybody knew. Saul knew. Trying to kill somebody that Yahweh anointed. Right. Yeah. But that again, that was that evil spirit on him that suffering from uh paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everybody was his enemy. Everybody was against him. Yeah, we put that label now because science has shown us that that type of behavior is called paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
But was he paranoid before David got anointed? He was inept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
He was inept because Samuel had sent him to kill off all the Amalekites. Mm-hmm. Right? Well, he didn't do that right. And then he intruded into the priest's office. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there was nothing paranoid about that. He was doing things he should have been doing. But when David came along, well, when Yahweh took that spirit off of him and gave him an evil spirit, yeah, that's when he started really nutting up. Yeah.
You know, after Saul, we should have said, Yahweh, you are king. We don't want another king. You gave us this, we don't want nothing like this. You would think our people would have said that.
Yeah.
I know they had to go down the way it's written, but Yahweh said, I gave you that. I gave you Saul and what? My anger, and took him away in my wrath. He didn't like Saul no way.
Nah. Well, he was really angry with the children of Israel, but they're in the asked for a king.
Mm-hmm.
So he got him some third class king. Then he
Just gave
make it
him
a second class.
just throw it at
Just
him.
throw it. He'll take this one. Have to go find it.
When you said that, that'll make me wonder on down through the line about the rest of the kings. Just with the kings of Israel. Just boy, all of them was wicked.
You got Hezekiah was a good one.
Josiah.
Yeah, all these were descendants of David.
Nuh-uh. I'm saying not Judah, I'm saying Israel.
Oh, Israel.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, no,
They
well, no.
went all down through that line dealing with
When Jeroboam on down
uh-huh.
to who's Baasha? What was king of Israel back in the day? Let me see here.
Baasha.
Was
That's trying to kill a bunch of people then.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. 2 Kings 17.
Well, none of them kings no good.
None of them. And that make me wonder, Yahweh had them paying for that thing from the beginning and asking for the king.
Yeah, that's what made him mad,
So
man.
you be saying,
Oh yeah, they
straight
disrespected
wicked.
Yahweh. Yahweh was their king, no doubt.
Hoshea, that was his name.
Oh
He
shit.
was, he was one of the last king of Israel, and the Assyrians took him out. There ain't been a king over Israel since. So that was the last of the evil kings. Yeah, like I say, they didn't have any really good kings over Samaria. Yeah, but you look at the rest of the kings over Judah, yeah, the majority of them don't want no good either.
You know, they was like these presidents over here. Wasn't no lineage. One just usurped another one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
One killed another and took his place. They were doing
yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
yeah. I know, but this is hyper here in America because you don't know who's on whose side no more.
Mm-mm.
Because the Democrats are against each other, now the Republicans are against each other. You got Margaret Taylor Greene against Trump. See, we don't call us. We see that. Did you have a question?
Yeah, because just if you think paranoia be considered a spirit,
That's
paranoia be considered a spirit.
no, it's a mental uh, disease. Because that being the case, they got people, a lot of people with paranoia, but and they all got the same symptoms. But when you talk about them unclean spirits or those demons that inhabit people, well, these people are uncontrollable. With paranoia, yeah, they got medication for that, but they're not violent, uncontrollable. They're just afraid of everybody. That's just paranoia. Yeah, so uh, you have to consider their mental illnesses and their unclean spirits.
Well, they got Thorazine for people that's violent.
They got what?
Thorazine.
Well, there ain't nothing you can do with unclean spirit. There ain't no medication for that. Right? So,
Yeah, it's a good point.
right. But you got a medication for paranoia or schizophrenia.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just a mental disease. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephanie.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 32. And David said to Abigail, Blessed be Yahweh Elohim of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which have kept me this day from coming to shed blood, and from avenging myself with mine own hand. For in very deed, as Yahweh Elohim of Israel liveth, which have kept me back from hurting thee, except thou had hasted and come to meet me, surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisses against the wall. So David received of her hand that which she had brought him, and said unto her, Go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and have accepted thy person.
Mm,
And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king.
mm-hmm.
And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing less or more until the morning light.
Mm-hmm.
But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone. And it came to pass about 10 days after that Yahweh smote Nabal, that he died.
Does that sound like a stroke?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after she told him what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he didn't recover from that stroke either. Go ahead, Steph.
1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 9.
39.
Verse 39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, Blessed be Yahweh, that have pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and have kept his servant from evil. For Yahweh have returned the wickedness of Nabal upon his own head. And David sent and communed with Abigail to take her to him to wife.
Mm-hmm.
And when the servants of David were come to Abigail to Carmel, they spake unto her, saying, David sent us unto thee to take thee to him to wife.
Didn't have the data. They have to bring a ring. They don't have to ask the dad or nothing. Right? He just send a service. Say, "Girl, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want you for a wife." No problem. Yeah. That's the way things were done. Now, what makes you think they won't be done again? I mean, not you married, brother. I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's sexy. You see,
I gotta be careful.
but you know what, Elder? Now you had some cases like that back in the day when couples would just look at each other and they say, "That's gonna be my wife." That
Mm-hmm.
was very rare, though, right?
Right.
You know, back in the 50s and 60s and on back,
Uh,
and a woman look at a man and say, "I'm gonna get him." That, and they just be there.
well, yeah, life was simpler back in the day.
Yeah.
And there were no other ulterior motives by these women nor the men. They just want a family.
Yeah, but I'm saying they didn't even date in some of these rare cases. They just saw each other and just end up, they were just attracted to each other.
But they didn't date.
Mm-mm. You had some cases like that, you know, where people just met each other and they were just attracted to each other.
I don't know about that. I didn't never see it.
Yeah.
In the 50s, I was a
And then they
child.
got married, you know, and people say they barely know each other. And the marriage lasted a long time.
They were boyfriend and girlfriend at least.
No, they just met each other. They didn't get married the next day. Don't get me wrong, they get married. But they it wasn't no long what they call relationship. They just eventually married.
So you're saying that a man can meet one woman Monday on Monday and on Tuesday get married?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying it wasn't a prolonged, it wasn't nothing, you know, did like 2 or 3 months and all that. They just
So it wasn't even a month?
right. They got married. Next
What was
day.
this at?
No, it's you know, I've seen documentaries where people they ask people how they met the husband, say, "Well, I just met him, we got married inside of a month. He got married."
News to me.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember seeing a picture of my mother when she was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why my daddy married
So you see.
her. I said, yeah. So at one time when you're young, you're hottie.
Yeah.
Right. So my mother was a hottie when she was 18 years old. But she was a country girl.
She's a good looking woman, huh?
Yeah. I can see why my daddy married her. But them country girls, they like fighting. They love to fight. They don't mind getting out there in the dirt, fight. And would carry a switchblade.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how innocent they look. They will cut you. Go ahead, Steve.
Uh 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 41. And she arose and bowed herself on her face to the earth and said, "Behold, let thine handmaid be a servant to wash the feet of the servants of my master." And Abigail hasted and arose and rode upon an ass with 5 damsels of hers that went after her. And she went after the messengers of David and became his wife.
Now that's another thing you can look forward to. If y'all will that you make it to the kingdom, your wife gonna have handmaids.
Mm-hmm.
I ask you nothing.
Huh?
I ain't gotta ask you to do nothing.
Right. She ain't gotta do nothing.
Ask you to do nothing either.
That's I mean, you need them handmaids, especially if you have a lot of children. So you don't want to be bogged down with the children. So let the handmaids raise them up, then bring them in the house when they ready to when they got some sense. Because them children, them terrible twos, yeah, you don't want to be running after them. Then the fastest people, they Speedy Gonzalez, bro. Go ahead, Steve.
Verse 43. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 43. David also took Ahinoam of Jezreel, and they were also both of them his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But Saul had given Michal, his daughter, David's wife, to Phalti, the son of Laish, which was of Galilee.
Women were given to men
Mm-hmm.
back in them days. So it wasn't that complicated. If a man wants to say, "Hey, I want you to be my wife," let's go. But you look at, for instance, in the law says if a man lies with a maiden, then he should marry her. give a father a dowry in marriage. So if he don't want his daughter to marry him, he got to pay him the dowry anyway because he had sex with his daughter. Now that was order, but right here, you just come and pick you one up.
Mm.
Look at in the book of Judges when you had that civil war between the Benjamites and the rest of the children of Israel.
Mm.
Damn near wiped them out, right?
Mm.
So they said you can get some virgins over here because they have a dance every year. You can just grab one. Don't even know who they are. Don't know they crazy or not. But they all got about 400 virgins. Just, I ain't going no further with that. Go ahead,
But
Steve.
Saul calls her to commit adultery, right?
Huh?
He calls her to
Yeah,
commit
yeah.
adultery.
Check that out now. But what you gonna do when the king tell you that though?
Mm.
So the king said, "I'm gonna give my daughter to what's his name? Uh, Faulty.
Faulty.
Yeah. Well, that's the type of man Saul is. He was a man of his word. Um, so, and plus, we're going to find out that Michal ain't got that much sense either. She's a daughter of a king. So, you know, she's spoiled rotten, right? Now, the princesses, they spoiled rotten because the daddy give them anything they want. Look at Caleb's daughter, right? She got off her ass and asked her dad, I want that field over that dad. And he gave it to her. Yeah. Now she's spoiled. For her to ask her daddy,
Mm.
she's spoiled. So some of these women are spoiled. That's another thing you got to be careful about in the kingdom. The brothers that's not married, some of the women are spoiled. So they're used to the best. So don't come around there playing games.
And them girls get over on their dad, though.
Oh, yeah. Then dad love their daughter.
Yeah, they fall for them girls. They tell the boy, say, get out and get your own stuff. But them girls,
Yeah. Well, the girl not a butter their daddy up.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 1. And the Ziphites came unto Saul to Gibeah, saying, does not David hide himself in the hill of Hachilah, which is before Jeshimon? Then Saul arose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, having 3,000 chosen men of Israel with him, to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. And Saul pitched in the hill of Hachilah, which is before Jeshimon, by the way. But David abode in the wilderness, and he saw that Saul came after him into the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed.
Mm-hmm.
And David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul lay, and Abner the son of Ner, the captain of his host. And Saul lay in the trench, and the people pitched round about him.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite and to Abishai the son of Zeruiah, brother to Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul to the camp? And Abishai said, I will go down with thee.
Mm-hmm.
So David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster, but Abner and the people lay round about him. Then said Abishai to David, Elohim hath delivered thine enemy into thine hand this day. Now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth at once, and I will not smite him the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And David said to Abishai, destroy him not. For who can stretch forth his hand against Yahweh's anointed and be guiltless?
Mm-hmm.
David said furthermore, as Yahweh liveth, Yahweh shall smite him, or his day shall come to die, or shall he descend into battle and perish. Yahweh forbid that I should stretch forth mine hand against Yahweh's anointed. But I pray thee, take thou now the spear that is at his bolster and the cruse of water, and let us go.
Mm-hmm.
So David took the spear and the cruse of water from Saul's bolster, and they got them away, and no man saw it, nor knew it, neither awake, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from Yahweh was fallen upon them.
Mm.
Then David went over to the other side, and stood on the top of an hill afar off, a great space being between them.
Mm-hmm.
And David cried to the people and to Abner, the son of Ner, saying, Answerest thou not, Abner? Then Abner answered and said, Who art thou that criest to the king?
Mm.
And David said to Abner, Art not thou a valiant man? And who is like to thee in Israel? Wherefore then hast thou not kept thy master the king? For there came one of the people in to destroy the king, thy master. This thing is not good that thou hast done. As Yahweh liveth, you are worthy to die, because you have not kept your master Yahweh's anointed.
Mm-hmm.
And now see where the king's spear is, and the cruse of water that was at his bolster.
Mm.
And Saul knew David's voice and said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And David said, It is my voice, my master, O king. And he said, Wherefore does my master thus pursue after his servant? For what have I done, or what evil is in mine hand? Now therefore I pray thee, let my master the king hear the words of his servants. If Yahweh have stirred thee up against me, let him accept an offering. But if they be the children of men, cursed be they before Yahweh. For they have driven me out this day from abiding in the inheritance of Yahweh, saying, Go, serve other gods.
Mm.
Now therefore let not my blood fall to the earth before the face of Yahweh. For the king of Israel is come out to seek a flea, as when one does hunt a partridge in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Saul, I have sinned. Return, my son David, for I will no more do thee harm, because my soul was precious in thine eyes this day. Behold, I have played the fool and have erred exceedingly.
Mm-hmm.
And David answered and said, Behold the king's spear, and let one of the young men come over and fetch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh render to every man his righteousness and his faithfulness. For Yahweh delivered thee into my hand today, but I would not stretch forth mine hand against Yahweh's anointed.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, as thy life was much set by this day in mine eyes, so let my life be much set by in the eyes of Yahweh, and let him deliver me out of all tribulation. Then Saul said to David, Blessed be thou, my son David. Thou shalt both do great things, and also shalt still prevail. So David went on his way, and Saul returned to his place.
I believe Saul is finally accepting the fact that David gonna be king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's softening up and a little bit.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. He acting nice.
Yeah.
Call him my son. But let's look at verse 1 of chapter 27. Let's see what David thought about that.
1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 1. And David said in his heart, I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines, and Saul shall despair of me to seek me anymore in any coast of Israel. So shall I escape out of his hand.
He didn't fool David.
No.
He called him, "Oh, my son, I've sinned against you. You spare my life." And so David said, "Nah, you still crazy. ain't coming nowhere near you." Go ahead, Steve. Read verse 1 again.
1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 1. And David said in his heart, I shall now perish one day by the hand of Saul. There's nothing better for me than that I should speedily escape into the land of the Philistines, and Saul shall despair of me to seek me any more in any coast of Israel. So shall I escape out of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And David arose, and he passed over with the 600 men that were with him unto Achish, the son of Maoch, king of Gath.
Mm.
And David dwelt with Achish at Gath, he and his men, every man with his household, even David with his two wives, Ahinoam the Yisraelitess, and Abigail the Carmelitess, Nabal's wife. And it was told Saul that David was fled to Gath, and he sought no more again for him. And David said unto Achish, if I have now found grace in thine eyes, let them give me a place in some town in the country, that I may dwell there. For why should thy servant dwell in the royal city with thee? Then Achish gave him Ziklag that day, wherefore Ziklag pertaineth unto the kings of Yehuda unto this day.
Now, he did not recognize David that first time. This is the same king Achish, right? But all of a sudden, he recognized him now. I think what's happening here is that old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
Right, so that's the situation that David is in and Achish is in, because Achish, being a Philistine, is an enemy of Saul and the children of Israel. So they see that David's on the run from Saul. So yeah, he's gonna let him up in here now, because I know me and you in the same boat. He hate both of us. Yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 7. And the time that David dwelt in the country of the Philistines was a full year and 4 months. And David and his men went up and invaded the Gershurites and the Geshurites and the Amalekites. For those nations were of old the inhabitants of the land, as thou goest to Shur, even unto the land of Egypt. And David smote the land and left neither man nor woman alive, and took away the sheep and the oxen and the asses and the camels and the apparel, and returned and came to Achish.
Mm-hmm.
And Achish said, whither have you made a road today? And David said, against the south of Yehuda, and against the south of the Yerahmeelites, and against the south of the Kenites. And David said, neither man nor woman alive, to bring tidings to Gath, saying, lest they should tell on us, saying, so did David, and so will be his manner all the while he dwelleth in the country of the Philistines. And Achish believed David, saying, he hath made his people Israel utterly to abhor him. Therefore he shall be my servant forever. And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare, to fight with Israel. And Achish said unto David, know thou surely that thou shalt go out with me to battle, thou and thy men. And David said to Achish, surely thou shalt know what thy servant can do. And Achish said to David, therefore will I make thee keeper of mine head forever. Now Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of Yahweh, Yahweh answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there's a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul have done, how he have cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Why then left thou a snare for my life, to cause me to die?
Now, keep in mind, a familiar spirit is not the same as an unclean spirit. The reason that they call it a familiar spirit is because the person is familiar with that particular spirit. Right? An unclean spirit is actually from Satan to occupy your mind so you do crazy things. But for someone with familiar spirit, this is very methodical. She knows exactly what she's doing because she's familiar with the spirit that she calls upon.
So that's the same people that we had, these spiritualists around in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Those people for
we,
me.
yeah, we got them now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come, Mr. Rudolph.
you already know, Steve. Y'all heard of Miss Rudolph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't, I suggest you hear about it from who talked about Miss Rudolph? Richard Pryor. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
You know, when my brother got killed, I was at that South DeKalb Mall right before I found out he was dead. A woman came up to me. She was a gypsy. She said, I got something to tell you. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, just get it from around me, because I knew better. I just been in the word 2 or 3 years.
So she's a white one? Black one?
White one, a gypsy. She had something she wanted to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know to tell you?
Mm.
You've been like this all your life, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm sitting there. I didn't know.
Never dull moment with Steve.
I'm sitting there on the, on the little slab in the mall, right?
Uh,
And I didn't know he was dead. I
Uh.
found out about a week later. But she came up, she wanted to tell me something. She said, very important.
mm-hmm.
And she wanted to, look at my palm of my hand and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. I even knew that before I even knew the truth. I didn't want to be bothered.
How old were you?
Hmm?
How old were you?
Well, I'm young back then. I was probably about 29, 30 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 10. And Saul swore to her by Yahweh, saying, as Yahweh liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up to thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? But thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and Elohim is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing Yahweh is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy?
Saul is desperate because Yahweh wasn't telling him nothing. The prophets wasn't telling him nothing. So he went to one of the worst things he went to was a witch, showing how unstable he was. The one that's supposed to be a witch in the land in the first place. Go ahead, Stephen.
But yeah, he wasn't someone right with this fellow, because he's trying to conjure up, he think this Saul, but the first time when Saul told him to go kill them Amalekites, because Samuel didn't show up, he took it upon himself. He should have waited on Saul then, right? But now he's trying to run him down. He should have waited on Samuel then, but now he's trying to run him down.
Yeah. Well, we know that's not Samuel.
No.
Go ahead.
1 Samuel 28, verse 16 again. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing Yahweh is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And Yahweh have done to him as he spoke by me, for Yahweh have rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to thy beed, because thou obeyest not the voice of Yahweh, nor executed his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore have Yahweh done this thing unto thee this day.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, Yahweh will also deliver Israel with you into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shall thou and thy sons be with me. Yahweh also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. Then Saul fell straightway all along on the earth, and was sore afraid because of the words of Samuel. And there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no bread all the day nor all the night. And the woman came unto Saul and saw that he was sore troubled, and said unto him, Behold, thine handmaid hath obeyed thy voice, and I have put my life in my hand, and have hearkened unto thy words which thou spakest unto me. Now therefore, I pray thee, hearken thou also unto the voice of thine handmaid, and let me set a morsel of bread before thee, and eat, that thou mayest have strength when thou goest on thy way. But he refused and said, I will not eat. But his servants, together with the woman, compelled him, and he hearkened unto their voice. So he arose from the earth and sat upon the bed. And the woman had a fat calf in the house, and she hasted and killed it, and took flour and kneaded it, and did bake unleavened bread thereof. And she brought it before Saul and before his servants, and they did eat. Then they rose up and went away that night.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Philistines gathered together all their armies to Aphek, and the Israelites pitched by a fountain which is in Jezreel. And the masters of the Philistines passed on by hundreds and by thousands, but David and his men passed on in the rear guard with Achish. Then said the princes of the Philistines, What do these Hebrews here? And Achish said unto the princes of the Philistines, Is not this David, the servant of Saul, the king of Israel, which have been with me these days, all these years? And I have found no fault in him since he fell unto me until this day.
Mm-hmm.
And the princes of the Philistines were wroth with him. And the princes of the Philistines said unto him, Make this fellow return, that he may go again to his place which thou hast appointed him, and let him not go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he be an adversary to us. For wherewith should he reconcile himself unto his master? Should it not be with the heads of these men?
Mm-hmm.
Is not this David, of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying, Saul slew his thousands, and David his 10,000s? Then Achish called David and said unto him, Surely as Yahweh liveth, thou hast been upright, and thy going out and coming in with me in the host is good in my sight. For I have not found evil in thee since the day of thy coming unto me until this day. Nevertheless, the masters favor thee not. Wherefore now return and go in peace, that thou displease not the masters of the Philistines. And David said unto Achish, But what have I done? And what hast thou found in thy servant so long as I have been with thee until this day, that I may not go fight against the enemies of my master the king? And Achish answered and said to David, I know that thou art good in my sight, as an angel of God. Notwithstanding, the princes of the Philistines have said, He shall not go up with us to the battle. Wherefore now rise up early in the morning with thy master's servants that are come with thee, and as soon as you be up early in the morning and have light, depart. So David and his men rose up early to depart in the morning to return into the land of the Philistines, and the Philistines went up to Yisrael.
So David is planning too.
Mm-hmm.
You see what he's doing? In verse 8, it says, And David said unto Achish, But what have I done, and what hast thou found in thy servant so long as I have been with thee, unto the day that I may not go against the enemies of my master the king? Now, he's talking about going against his own people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Knowing that he ain't going to do that. Knowing that these men don't trust him. Knowing that they can make him stay out the battle. Because that's that same David that killed all them Philistines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but he ain't going away with us. David knew this. That's why he pretended to be upset. How come I can't go with you? In fact, the king's enemy. I ain't did nothing that they should not trust me. Right? He playing him. Go ahead, Steve.
1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire. and had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way.
Mm-hmm.
So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives, Ahinoam the Yisraelitess and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite.
Mm-hmm.
And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in Yahweh his Elohim. And David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, I pray thee, bring me hither the ephod. And Abiathar brought thither the ephod to David.
Mm-hmm.
And David inquired at Yahweh, saying, Shall I pursue after this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, Pursue, but thou shalt surely overtake them, and without fail recover all.
Mm-hmm.
So David went, he and the 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, while 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor. And they found an Egyptian in the field and brought him to David and gave him bread, and he did eat. And they made him drink water, and they gave him a piece of cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him, for he had eaten no bread nor drunk any water 3 days and 3 nights. And David said unto him, To whom belongest thou, and whence art thou? And he said, I am a young man of Egypt, servant to Amalekite, and my master left me, because 3 days agone I fell sick. And verse 14, we made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Yehuda, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. And David said to him, Canst thou bring me down to this company? And he said, Swear unto me by Elohim that thou wilt. Verse 15, and David said to him, Canst thou bring me down to this company? And he said, Swear unto me by God that thou wilt neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad upon the earth, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil that they had taken out of the hand of the Philistines and out of the land of Yehuda. And David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening of the next day. And there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all. And David took all the flocks and the herds which they drave before those cattle, and said, This is David's spoil.
Mm-hmm.
And David came to the 200 men, which were so faint that they could not follow David, whom they had made also to abide at the brook Besor. And they went forth to meet David and to meet the people that were with him. And when David came near to the people, he saluted them.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered all the wicked men and men of Belial of those that went with David, and said, Because they went not with us, we will not give them aught of the spoil that we have recovered, save to every man his wife and his children, that they may lead them away and depart. Then said David, You shall not do so, my brethren, with that which Yahweh have given us, who have preserved us and delivered the company that came against us into our hand.
Mm-hmm.
For who will hearken unto you in this matter? But as his part is that goeth down to the battle, so shall his part be that tarrieth by the stuff. They shall part alike. And it was so from that day forward that he made it a statute and an audience for Israel, ordinance for Israel unto this day. And when David came to Ziklag, he sent of the spoil unto the elders of Yehuda, even to his friends, saying, Behold, a present for you of the spoil of the enemies of Yahweh. To them which were in Bethel, and to them which were in South Ramoth, and to them that were in Yatir, and to them that were in Aroer, and to them which were in Ziphmoth, and to them which were in Eshtemoa, and to them which were in Rakal, and to them which were in the cities of the Yerahmeelites, and to them which were in the cities of the Kenites, and to them which were in Harmor, and to them which were in Korshan, and to them which were in Atak, and to them which were in Hebron, and to all the places where David and his men were known to haunt.
All right, Stephen, I'm gonna stop right there. So David is still on the run, but we just read that evil spirit told Saul that the next day he's gonna die. So we're gonna stop there. We'll pick this up next week, Yahweh willing. We have a new moon service tomorrow, just in case we forgot. And we have a sisters only class on the 5th day. Anybody hear about how Sister Kana doing?
I haven't.
Okay.
She's at the hospital, man.
Hmm.
She's at the hospital.
Yeah, I know about that, but is she getting around? Because normally she has Bible study on the 5th day. So usually when she can, she'll let us know on Facebook. But yeah, we'll have a sisters only class this 5th day at 8 o'clock, and we have our Sabbath service, Yahweh willing, on the 7th day, which is Saturday at 1 o'clock. So we're gonna go ahead. Does anyone have any questions before we dismiss?
Good class.
Okay. Let's see what's on chat. Here. Good. Well, let's see what's on chat. Okay. I have Elder Tobiah on Facebook. Shalom, Elder Tobiah. Shalom, Morning Chris. Shalom, Gregor Rucker. Shalom, Miss C. Shalom, Kevin Burtz. Shalom, Shalom, Avisha Judah. Shalom, Brother Malachi Israel. Shalom, Trey Kingfish Minor. Shalom, David Reed. Shalom, Julius Brown. Shalom, Brother Eliyahu Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Alahayam. Ben Yasharala, Sister Malaka, Ben Yasharala. Shalom, Brother Abraham. Always good to hear from you, bro. Shalom, Clarence Marks and Sister Yulita. Shalom, Mickey Anderson. Shalom, Sister Micaiah by Israel. Shalom, Sister Kimberly Israel. Shalom, Repentant Judah. Shalom, Brother Hodiah Ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Adrian Davis. Shalom, Brother Roosevelt Petrie. Shalom, Melinda Curry. Shalom, Esther Yasharala. Shalom, Susie Garman. Shalom, Nia the P. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Shalom, Susie Garman. Shalom, Yashar is love. I ain't got nothing after that. No questions or nothing.
History.
Huh?
Yeah, it's history class.
I don't have anything after that, after Yasharala.
That's it.
Okay, I mean Yashar is love. Well, since we let's see what time is it. Well, we might have time for let's kill this chapter here. We just finished chapter 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and finish up chapter 31.
First Samuel chapter 31, verse 1. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Melchishua, Saul's son. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, Draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearer, and all his men that same day together. And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side of Jordan, saw that the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook the cities and fled, and the Philistines came and dwelt in them. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in Mount Gilboa.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor and sent into the land of the Philistines round about to publish it in the house of their idols and among the people.
Mm-hmm.
And they put his armor in the house of Ashtaroth, and they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan. And when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard of that which the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and went all night and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshan and came to Jabesh and burnt them there. And they took their bones and buried them under a tree at Jabesh and fasted 7 days.
All right, Brother Steph, we're gonna hold off on going into 2 Samuel for next week. I want to thank Facebook and YouTube for joining us tonight. We pray that what you heard today is edifying unto you, and that you come back and join us on the next Bible study. Let me go ahead and get out this. Shalom, Mikhail. Let's see here. All right. Again, thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube.